with you next week. And it was well written and well thought, and they relied on the science behind the superheroes. And they said which ones could exist and which cannot. Again, we're talking about gamma radiation, the Fantastic Four, the Hulk. Little piece of gamma radiation would kill you. So none of those characters would have existed.
Yeah, Spider-Man's power, like one bite from a radioactive spider that was that concentrated, he would have been dead within like 24 hours. So
the only, I think, if I remember, the only thing they said about the only way out for that is they kept referring to the Marvel mutant thing. If he had a mutant gene that was able
that
to,
it was, yeah, right, that it was activated by the bites, and I'm like, all right, that's a clever way out, but at the same time, his powers were so close to that of a spider's. It's like the influence of the spider bite must have been more than whatever X gene was floating around idly in his body. So
and that's the hysterical thing. That's the hysterical thing when they created Spider-Man. He said the proportionate strength of a spider. What? There isn't any. The spider isn't strong.
Well, see how they how they tried to fix that though was in
Ant-Man. An ant had the proportionate strength of an ant. You see a little ant and he carries something 1,000 times his weight. Yeah, but not with Spider-Man.
Well, he didn't always have the strength thing. How they tried to adjust that in the 2000 with Sam Raimi is that they used different genuses of spider, and they just combined them to make like the uber spider and stuff. So it's like that was supposed to explain how he was able to lift all the crazy stuff and be able to like the camouflage thing, which you don't even really see in the movie. All these different fringe powers that he could just have because, we through the magic of science, we created this all spider, which can do everything at once because reasons. So
what I did like about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is he didn't need the contraption to do the web. It was automatically coming
the organic ones, yeah. People, I don't know, it's kind of like polarizing. Some people really like the organic web shooters. I was one of them. And then people hated it. And they wanted the ones that you created, like I did in Amazing Spider-Man.
But it made more sense. I mean, if he had everything else, why?
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't he have that? Why does he have the spider sense?
Why all of a sudden that,
Yeah, I'm like, that's a weird grievance to have.
I think Stanley himself said he made a mistake. He should have done that too. In the looking.
Yeah, even Stanley's gone on record and said that he liked the organic web shooters. I'm like, that makes about as much sense as anything else that his power set's gonna have. So why not? Yeah.
Another character they talked about was Superman, but the original Superman, not all this added stuff, heat vision, X-ray vision, all this other stuff. They were saying a guy from another planet whose gravity was greater than Earth came here. He would look like he had superhuman powers, given the muscular, the muscular of his body and the bones.
Now you're talking about the original, the OG iteration of Superman, who could leap tall buildings in a single bound, was fast and locomotive. Because
it wouldn't fly, he'd be able to jump, just kind of like when they went to the moon. Neil Armstrong on the moon, all of a sudden he's able to pick up the vehicle, because the moon has 1/6 the gravity of Earth. So on the moon, he looks like he's superhuman. And when they hit the golf ball and that thing went around the moon, it's because it's 1/6 of the gravity. Of course, it's going to go long distance.
Yeah. But they've jacked it up. Starting from I want to say it was the 50s onward, I was looking up a list of Superman's most bizarre powers, like the super diet, the generating, the telekinesis, the telepathy. I'm just like, you guys are just making this up as you go along. And they just put the word super ahead of it, and therefore it's supposed to fall right in line with his power set. That's why I couldn't mess with Superman for a long time. That's why I think to this day, I still am kind of whenever I see Superman, I'm just like, the writing's going to save him at the end. He's just going to manifest new power. Oh, look, there's someone that's exactly my equal and then superior because he's like a better fighter than me. Solar flare. We're going to jack the solar flare from Dragon Ball and just put that and make it to Superman. But he's not going to have his powers for 24 hours, so it's okay.
Which is kind of funny because for the longest time, the Dragon Ball fans were saying Goku would beat Superman.
Yeah.
So now I'm saying, but this is the history of Superman. Whenever there was somebody who had a power, Superman can do that too. Superman can do that too.
Yeah.
He's got this whole super flare thing. Now, Superman's got that too.
The fundamental flaws, yeah. See, that's where that whole pairing between who would win, Goku versus Superman. The flaw comes in that Goku is a character who's known for reaching his limits and then exceeding them. If he finds a character that he's like completely matched with, he'll fall, but then he'll get back up. As opposed to Superman, who's just written as having no limits. I'm gonna carry an entire friggin' planet on my back. I'm gonna sneeze and blow literally an entire galaxy out of existence, essentially. So it's just, that's where that line kind of comes in. And they're two iconic characters. Oh, you have some line.
The other thing that drove me nuts about Superman was he keeps saying he's the last son of Krypton. I'm like, well, you got your cousin. You got that big bottle of Candor that's full of Kryptonians. There's like 1 million men in there. They're Kryptonian.
Yeah, there's been like 8 dozen other Kryptonians.
Last son of Krypton.
But he's the last son of Krypton. So
he's a self-promoter.
I think that's his shtick. Yeah, it's like he got here first.
Like Barnum and Bailey and Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and then you had Superboy come in, and I'm just like, all right, so maybe you should just change your name to the first son of Krypton. You're the first one that got to Earth as an, I guess, immigrant from Krypton. That would work, but no, first son of Krypton.
And if he's the last son of Krypton, what was Zod and the other guys?
They were actually, yeah, that's a good point.
I'm like, what? You know what, DC, just. That's why I like Superman Prime. He's in his own universe. That's the way it should be.
That's boring to me.
But then, well, that way they can do whatever they want with him. I don't care.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like, all right.
You look at the original Justice League, Superman wasn't in it.
Yeah, he wasn't in it. It was like, who was that? Dr. Fate in them?
No, that's the JSA.
JSA, that's the JSA. That's right.
The original Justice League.
I don't know, I feel that's boring because it's like what got me into comics as a kid was the idea of the shared universe. When I realized that Gotham was one town over from Metropolis, that blew my little freaking mind at the time. So, I don't know, I like the idea of the shared universe. It's when you get to the multiverse thing and things get kind of timey-wimey and weird. Yeah, I still have fun with it.
Timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey, yeah.
Yeah. I had a great time last week, by the way, at that when I said I was going to that Doctor Who thing. Mm-hmm. With showcasing, I'm going again tomorrow. It was a lot of fun, and every Monday they show classic episodes. The other guy that couple talked about was the Green Lantern. They had an interesting theory because you know how a black hole absorbs energy. Mm-hmm. Then they have the white hole now, which is supposed to exert energy, and they're saying if you can get that piece of any technology, get that piece of that white hole into a containment unit that look like a ring. It'd be a Green Lantern could possibly exist.
Now, see, the thing about that is, while the theory is pretty cool, you still have the fact that when it comes to the Green Lantern ring, it has the ability to take your thought and then manifest it as a hard light object. So when it comes to how you would harness and then try to, I guess, almost even turn the ring into like a search engine for ideas, that's space magic. Like I said before the show, I'm like, to me, Green Lantern Corps, they're cool, but their power is rooted in just space magic. It's just poof, think about it, and it's there. Merlin. So
Merlin? All right.
Merlin. Merlin ring, dude. So.
Yeah. I mentioned McMahon. I want to say, I think you guys have heard that. R.I.P. to Roddy Piper, man.
Yeah, that was sad.
And for all you fans out there who are sci-fi fans, Roddy Piper was in a movie called They Live.
They Live.
Carpenter. If you have not seen that movie, rent it, YouTube it, whatever, watch it. It is it's low budget, but it was
super low budget. If for no other reason, just to have a good laugh and enjoy.
It made so much money. That thing was a monster. That thing was a sleeper hit. It made a lot of money. It had a good story, good plot. Piper surprised everybody with his acting. And
as much as a wrestler could act in
he
was fun. It was
John
fun.
Carpenter said to himself when he died, he said Piper was a very underrated actor. The guy knew he was very good.
And it's funny because
he has a great fight scene between Roddy Piper and Keith
David,
who was the voice of Spawn in the cartoon. And Keith David was also in John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Right.
That fight scene, I'll tell you, if you Google the top fight scenes in movies, it ends up in the top 2, 3, number one and a lot of lists. It was a great fight in the alley.
Yeah, it had definite has. As a kid, I was watching it, and it's kind of funny seeing like years later how it still kind of influences sci-fi culture because the rebel shirts with the eyes and stuff like that in the face, that's still around. We
Yeah.
still make those, so it's like funny how that movie has withstood the test of time, and yeah, man, it was for all its little quirks, the whole rebellious,
Had a
hey,
lot
we're
of good
ruling from the shadows
little
thing.
social points it made, you know?
It had some decent commentary for the time. I feel it now it's kind of become like chic, and
Like,
therefore it has less
yeah, but then
meaning.
again, at the time, we're talking about something from the 80s. I mean, I think it was done in 86, 84. If I remember right, it was way in the mid 80s, that movie. So, I mean, it is like 30 years old or something. So, but it's a good movie to check out. And, what? Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah, there's something we'll get into that.